Sometimes I sit and wonder, in my artless Japanese way, why it is that I'm so much more attractive than anybody else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature, and take after my mother.
Everything seems to smile upon me. I am to be married today to the man I love best, and I believe I'm the very happiest girl in Japan.
The happiest girl indeed, for she is indeed to be envied, who has attained happiness in all but perfection.
All but perfection?
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact that your husband is to be beheaded in a month is in its way a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
Oh, I don't know. It all depends.
At all events, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. Bless you. It all depends. I think it very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on such a day, if my married happiness is to be cut short. Well, cut short in a month? Can't you let me forget?
Yum in tears on her wedding morn?
They've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded. Yes, we've been reminding her that you're to be beheaded. Oh.
It's true, you know. You are to be beheaded.
How some bridegrooms would be distressed by this sort of thing. A month? Well, what's a month? These divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Then we'll efface it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. And at that rate, we've about 30 years of married happiness before us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
Yes, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. Don't let's be downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Certainly. Let's be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry. Quite ridiculous. Write it on the wedding day. Joyous all we give thee greeting. With a river art thou fleeting. Fickle moment, prithee stay. Fickle moment, prithee stay.
What long water joys me hollow.
Pleasures come if sorrows follow. Golden fox in summer long.
Yet until the shadows fall over one and over all,
Sing a merry madrigal.
sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal. La 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 la
Let us try the ready tea.
No, the hours are surely creeping, little need for woeful weeping, till the sad sundown is near, till the sad sundown is near. Oh, the massive dark of the sorrow,
I today and how tomorrow.
is the close of every happy day. What those solemn shadows fall, sooner, later, over all.
Sing a merry madrigal.
Sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal. La 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 la
Go on, don't mind me.
I'm afraid we're distressing.
Never mind, I must get used to it. Only, please do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm round her waist. There. Let me get used to that first.
Would you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to bear it. Now oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
I'm much obliged to you. Now, kiss her. Thank you. It's simple torture.
Oh, come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
No, it's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
My child. My poor child. How shall I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes. You never can be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I've just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
But whom did you get that from?
Oh, from Pooh-Bar. He's my solicitor.
But he may be mistaken.
So I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They're all of the same opinion. Never knew such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
But wait a bit. This law has never been put into force.
Not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation. And married men never flirt.
Of course they don't. I quite forgot that. Well, I suppose I can take it that our dream of happiness is at an end.
Darling. I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I should ever love anyone else half as much. Oh. But when I agreed to marry you, my own, I had no idea that I should have to be buried alive in a month.
Nor I. It's the very first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it does make a difference, of course.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I insist upon you carrying out your promise, I doom you to a hideous death. If I release you, you marry Koko at once.
Here's a howdy-do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding, let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's the state of things, here's the state of things.
With a passion that's intense I worship and adore, and the laws of common sense we ought to ignore. If what I say is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things. Here's a howdy-do. For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty state of things.
Here's a pretty howdy-do. My poor boy, I'm really very sorry for you.
Thanks, old fellow. I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
I quite see that.
I can't conceive of anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of a wedding. You shall come to mine.
It's awfully kind of you, but that's impossible.
Why so?
Today, I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without Yum Yum. This afternoon, I perform the Happy Dispatch.
No, pardon me, I can't allow that.
Why not?
Why, hang it all. You're under contract to die with the hands of the public executioner in a month's time. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? I should have to be executed in your place.
It would certainly seem so.
Ooh. Now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his train are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado? He's coming to see whether his orders have been carried out. Now look here, you know, this is getting serious. A bargain's a bargain. And you really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor and a gentleman, you're bound to die ignominiously by the hands of the public executioner.
Very well, then. Behead me.
What? Now?
Certainly, at once.
Chop it off. Chop it off.
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Oh, I never even killed a blue bottle.
Still, as Lord High Executioner...
My good sir, as Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month's time. I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I've got to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the whole animal kingdom till I come to a second trombone. Why, you don't suppose that as a humane man I'd have accepted the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought the duties were purely nominal? I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Come, my poor fellow, we all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. After all, what is it, if I don't mind? Why should you? Remember, sooner or later, it must be done.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? Here are plenty of witnesses. The Lord Chief Justice, the Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
Where are they?
There they are. They'll all swear to it. Won't you?
Am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Why not? You'll be grossly insulted, as usual.
Will the insult be cash down or at a date?
It'll be a ready money transaction.
Oh, a useful discipline. Very well. Choose your fiction and I'll endorse it. Ha ha! Family pride. How do you like that, my buck?
I tell you that life without
Oh,
Yum-Yum...
yum. Bother Yum-Yum. Here, Commissioner.
Sir?
Go and fetch Yum-Yum. Take Yum-Yum and marry Yum-Yum, only go away and never come back again. Ah, here she is. Yum-Yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
You've 5 minutes to spare?
Yes.
Then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Pitti-Poo, and he'll marry you at once.
But if I'm to be buried alive...
Now, don't ask questions, but do as I say. Nanki-Poo will explain all.
But one moment.
Not for the worlds. Oh! Here comes the Mikado. No doubt to ascertain whether I've obeyed his decree. And if he finds you still alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty in persuading him that I beheaded you. Shh! Oh, close thing that, for here he comes.
I expect. I'm the Emperor of Japan.
And I'm his daughter-in-law elect. He'll marry his son, he's only got one, to his daughter-in-law elect.
My morals have been declared particularly correct.
But they're nothing at all compared with those of his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. In a fatherly kind of way, I govern each tribe and sect. All cheerfully own my sway.
Except his daughter-in-law elect. As tough as a bone with a will of her own is his daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light, my freedom from all defect
is insignificant, quite compared with his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. A more humane Mikado never did in Japan exist. To nobody's second, I'm certainly reckoned a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make, to some extent, each evil liver a running river of a harmless merriment. My object all sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it for listener pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. All prosy dull society sinners who chatter and bleat and bore are sent to hear sermons from mystical Germans who preach from 10 till 4. The amateur tenor, whose vocal villain is all desire to shirk, should during our hours exhibit his powers to Madame Tussauds waxwork. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains her grey hair puce, or pinches her finger, is painted with vigor and permanent walnut juice. The idiot in railway carriages scribbles on window panes. We only suffer to ride on a buffer in parliamentary terrains. Sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who wearies with tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The music hall singer attends a series of masses, fugues and hops, by Bach interwoven with Spohr and Beethoven and classical Monday pops. The billiard sharp whom anyone catches, his doom's extremely hard, is made to dwell in a dungeon cell, on a spot that's always barred, and there he plays extravagant matches in fiddleless finger stalls, on a cloth and true, with a twisted cue, and elliptical billiard balls. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it the listener pet, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I am honoured in being permitted to welcome your Majesty. I guess the object of your Majesty's visit, your wishes have been attended to, the execution has taken place.
Oh, so you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate of his death. At Pitti-Poo, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Lord Mayor, and groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It was really a most remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and guggled, I drew my sneaker snee. My sneaker snee. Oh, never shall I forget the cry or the shriek that shrieked at me. As I gnashed my teeth, when from each sheath I drew my snicker snee. We know it well, he never true on roundless tales. He always tries to utilize, and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to brace his nerve, for he nodded his head and hissed his hand and whistled and added he, as the saber through cut cleanly through his cervical vertebrae. His vertebrae. When a man's afraid, a beautiful maid is a cheering sight to see. And it's oh, I'm glad that omen sad was soon by sight of me.
A terrible tale you've got to say, with truth it quite agrees. A taste exact of faultless fact amounts to a disease.
Now, though you'd have said that head was dead, for its owner dead was he. It stood on its neck with a smile well bred, and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent offhand nods, but as humble as could be. For it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. And it's oh, I vow, that deathly bow was a touching sight to see. Though trunkless, yet it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
This haughty youth, he speaks the truth whenever he finds it pays. And in this case, it all took place exactly as he says. Exactly, 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 exactly as he says.
All this is very interesting, and I should like to have seen it. But we came about a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed? Did he have any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him. Yet he fled.
I am surprised that he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You hold that I'm not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are still unenlightened. Learn, then, that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought.
My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays on presentation of visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled?
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of...
Nanki-Poo.
Nanki-Poo.
It's quite easy. In fact, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Shepherd's Bush.
Oh!
What's the matter?
See here, his name, Nanki-Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear. This is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to be associated with that expression of regret.
We had no notion.
Of course you hadn't. How could you? Come, my good fellow. Don't distress yourself. It was no fault of yours. If a person of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, he must take the consequences. It distresses me to see you take on so. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your Majesty.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
How could we possibly tell who the gentleman really was?
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It might have been on his pocket handkerchief. But Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes. Something lingering with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous. Lingering with either boiling oil or melted lead. Oh! Come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If your Majesty will accept our assurance, we had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. However, cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have it altered next session. Now, let's see about your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Yes. We can wait till then.
Then I think we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
A nice mess you've got us into, with your nodding head and the deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative fiddlesticks.
Yes, and you're just as bad as he is, with your cock and bull story about catching his eye and his whistling an air. Oh, but that's so like you. You must put in your awe.
But what about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snicker-snee.
Yes, well, never mind about that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanki-Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. Ah, here he is. Nanki-Poo, I've good news for you. You've been reprieved.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm off on my honeymoon.
Nonsense! A terrible thing has just happened. It seems that you're the son of the Mikado.
Yes, but that happened some time ago.
This is a time for airy persiflage. Your father is here and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, and he wants you particularly.
And so does she.
Oh, but he's married now.
Oh, bless my heart, what's that got to do with it?
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she will insist upon my execution, and if I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Yes. I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. Yes. If you could persuade Katisha to marry you, then she would have no further claim on me. And in that case, I could come to life without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Katisha?
I really think it's the only course.
But my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
But that's only her face. She has a left elbow which people come from miles to see.
I'm told her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart upon any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers in spring.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, we promise of many sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring. Tra-la, a summer of roses and wine, oh, a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing. Oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la. Oh, bother the flowers of spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
My soul is miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues. They are heating the cauldron.
Katisha, behold a suppliant at your feet. Katisha, mercy!
Mercy? Had you mercy on him? See here, you have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead, and where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through the weary round again, and at the same time implore mercy for you who robbed me of my prey? I mean, my pupil, just as his education was on the point of completion. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here!
What?
Katisha, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Oh, shrink not from me. If there is aught a woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills to your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust, I have endeavoured to conceal a passion whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly for its long restraint, declares itself in words which will not be weighed, that cannot be schooled, that should not be too severely criticized. Katisha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it. Darling!
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dicky, but why do you sit singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cry, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why, though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. did.
All on account of a cruel little hen.
Yes.
Oh, poor little chap.
It's an affecting tale and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? He must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Oh, little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once?
No, you mustn't. Anything but that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me if I'm just a little teeny-weeny wee bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Hate you? Oh, Katisha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea. Exactly. There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is eloquent outpouring when the lion is a-roaring and the tiger is a-lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially with lashing of his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the dolts. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing, daddy down, daddy gets heaven and ready, I'll be so what? Away we'll go and melody, daddy don't melody, daddy till day is done. There is beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you are elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting. Is a maiden all the better when she's tough?
Oh, despite the beauty, that's a general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed?
To this matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed.
If that is so, sing daddy down, daddy, it's heaven and daddy, I'll take so what? Away we'll go and melody, daddy down, melody, daddy till day is done. If that is so, sing daddy down, daddy, it's heaven and daddy, I'll take so what? Away we'll go and melody, daddy down, melody, daddy till day is done. Daddy down, daddy, we'll melody, daddy down, melody, daddy till day is done.
Capital lunch, and we're all quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
And then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy! Mercy for Koko! Mercy for Pitti-Sing! Mercy even for Pooh-Bar!
I beg your pardon, I don't think I quite caught that remark.
Mercy even for Pooh-Bar.
Mercy! My husband that was to have been is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Oh? You've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that as you have slain the heir apparent...
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart! My son?
And your daughter-in-law, elected.
Oh! Traitor! You have deceived me!
Yes, you are entitled to a little explanation, but I feel he would give it better whole than in pieces.
Your Majesty, it's like this. It's true that I had stated I killed Nanki-Poo.
Yes, with most affecting particulars.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic
Will you
verisimilitude.
refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. When your Majesty says let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically, it is done. Because your Majesty's will is law. Your Majesty says, kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed. Consequently, that gentleman is as good as dead. Practically, he is dead. And if he is dead, then why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
Oh, he's gone and married Yum Yum. Yum Yum. Your anger may merry, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb. And join our expressions of grief.
On this subject, I pray you be dumb. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is mum. You've a very good bargain in me.
On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. You find there are many who went for a penny, who went for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's